Hey guys, it's me again, CuteMimi25, making yet again another video. If you can read from the title, this is a top 5 list of shows I miss watching on Fox. Now, Fox is home to a few of my favorite shows. Shows like Kitchen Nightmares, MasterChef, and Hell's Kitchen. Today we're going to take a look at a list of 5 or perhaps 6 shows I miss watching on Fox that I wish would come back or at least get revived and such. Let's take a look at that list. Number 5. Number 5 goes to Hole in the Wall, which involves two teams, a red team and a blue team. Each of them have a unique name, and they have to go through, make the shape of a hole in the wall. If they score that, they get 1 point. If they fail to get it, they get no points. And then, first team, one of the two teams goes first, then the other team has to do it with a different shape of the wall. In fact, sometimes on the show, both the Fox version and the Cartoon Network version, they end up breaking the wall sometimes. But if they make it through the wall, they score points. Sometimes people get knocked into the water, which is hilarious. Overall, I prefer Fox's version compared to the Cartoon Network version. I like how Brooke Burns and Mark Thompson were better hosts in my opinion. Tech Holmes was okay, but I prefer the version on Fox because I'd rather hear, "It's time to face the hole," compared to, "Show us the hole in the wall." Overall, I prefer Fox's version compared to the revival Cartoon Network version. So, that's number 5. Let's take a look at number 4. Number 4. Number 4 goes to Take Me Out, which is based on Australia's show Taken Out, which Take Me Out originally started in other countries like the UK and such. The American version is presented by George Lopez, and it's basically a dating show where one single guy makes his appearance, and there are 30 single ladies that want to see if they're interested in the guy or not. If they're not interested, they turn their lights off. So, if they have to get through first their appearance, then they have to know about the single guy. And if they don't like what they see, they turn their light off. Then, if there are still some lights on, they go deeper into the single guy. And if all the lights are out, nobody wants to go out with the single guy. And the song that plays, I don't know what it's called, but it says the lyrics are, "All by myself, I don't want to be all by myself." And if there are at least one light on, you automatically go out with that single person. That's it. If there are 2 lights still on after those rounds, then you'll have to ask both of them one question. Now, you might want to make sure it's a very good question, and whoever answer you like, you turn the other person's light off. Then you go out with that person. If there's like 3 or perhaps 3 to 30 lights still on, what you do is turn off the lights of each girl who you do not like. And after you've chosen who you like, you go to the Take Me Out resort. And you walk out, and the music plays that says, "I got 2 tickets to paradise." And such. Which is really a song. I don't know the actual name, but overall, Take Me Out is by far a very good dating show. I wish Fox would revive it. Now I'm starting to watch the UK version, which they're probably still airing to this day. Let's move on to number 3. Number 3. Number 3 goes to $1 Million Money Drop. It's a show which is based on the original UK run known as £1 Million Drop Live, but unlike that, I actually prefer the American version for a few reasons and such. The music is better in my opinion and such. I wish somebody would upload the timer music when they have to stock the money on the drop things on the American version. Why aren't you guys uploading that? You should upload it. Anyway, the show was hosted by Kevin Pollak, and it originally started in 2010, and it ended in 2011 because it got canceled, and who knows why it got canceled. Probably because of that $800,000 loss on a correct answer, but that's a stupid reason why to cancel the show. This show deserves a second chance. Maybe the producers were probably, I don't know, losing their minds and such. The differences between the American version is you earn more time on the first 3 questions you have 60 seconds. The next 3 are 75 seconds, and the 6th question 90 seconds. On the final question, you got no time. You can take as much time as you want, and such. Now, I should mention, on our version, unlike the UK version, they only get 60 seconds on every question, apart from the final question, and such. And we are given a chance, another 30 seconds if we wanted to change the money amounts, putting some of the amounts on a different answer if we're unsure. That's called quick change. Now, actually, wait, 60 seconds, I apologize. Now, unfortunately, this show got canceled. I kind of wish it was renewed, but what can you expect? That's number 3. Let's move on to number 2. Number 2. I actually have a tie at number 2. Now, the 2 shows that are tied at number 2 are Don't Forget the Lyrics and Are You Smarter Than a 5th Grader? Let's talk about Don't Forget the Lyrics first. Now, the show was originally hosted by Wayne Brady, later hosted by Mark McGrath on the syndicated version, but Fox's version was hosted by Wayne Brady. And to be honest, I actually prefer his version. Now, you have 9 different genres of songs where the object of the game is you don't have to sing it good, you just have to sing the lyrics correct. Now, there are going to be 9 different genres of songs. First, you pick a genre of song, then there are going to be 2 different songs. And you pick which one you think you know more. And the option of singing the song. Once you pick the song, you sing some of the lyrics, and the host will mention you'll be missing a certain number of lyrics. And if you remember the lyrics, you can lock them in. But if you're not sure if they're right, you can always use a backup. You'll have 3 backups. One is a backup, one backup singer where a person will help you sing the lyrics if they know the song. 2 words, which will show you 2 of the correct words, and 3 lines, which shows you 3 different lines. That was also the only backup you can use in Mark McGrath's version. They should have included all 3 of those in his version, but oh well. Now, if you get it, the prize money, it goes from $2,500 to $5,000 to $10,000 up to $500,000. The top prize is a cool $1 million. Now, I'll probably put I don't know. But anyway, if you go into the $500,000, you have the option of going for the $1 million song, but you cannot use any backups on that particular song. Now, I don't know anyone who actually won the $1 million song, but there are a few people who went for it. They can either walk away with $100,000, but if they get it wrong, they go down to $25,000. Kind of like Are You Smarter Than a 5th Grader, but a bit different. Overall, I like both Don't Forget the Lyrics and Are You Smarter Than a 5th Grader. Now let's talk about Are You Smarter Than a 5th Grader? It was hosted by Jeff Foxworthy, both in the regular and the syndicated version. Now they didn't change the cheating mechanism in the syndicated version. They kept that. It's just the money ladder was different. In the original version, there are 2 first grade questions, 2 second grade, 2 third grade, 2 fourth grade, and 2 fifth grade. And if you get each one of them right, there's $1 million question, which is obviously a 5th grade question. And you have the option to drop out and go and keep the $500,000, or risk it and go for the $1 million. But if you screw up, you go down to $25,000. And if you fail to get the $1 million question right, you have to look at the camera and say, I am not smarter than a 5th grader. Because if you don't, you will forfeit the game. Which I've actually done one time on the DVD game, which I might review sometime in case you want me to do that. But in the Fox version, you have 5 different 5th graders, and you choose one for each 2 questions, and you'll ask what are their best subjects. Seeing if you struggle on a question, you could probably peek at their answer or copy their answer, or if you get an answer wrong, they could probably save your life in case they're right. But if you mess up and they're wrong, you flunk out and go down to zero if you don't make it past the $25,000 mark. But if you do make it past that, you will go home with $25,000. And in the syndicated version, you earn $100 for the $500 for the first grade questions, $1,000 for the second grade, third grade will be $2,500 for $3,500 for the fourth grade, and fifth grade questions are worth $5,000. And if you mess up on the syndicated version, you go down to zero, which is alright, but I prefer the original Fox run, in my opinion. So, and there are only 3 fifth graders on that version. I prefer the 5 compared to just 3. So, overall, this Fox version is better. Now let's take a look at the number 1 show I miss watching on Fox. Number 1! Before we get to number 1, let's recap the others. Number 5 goes to Hole in the Wall. Number 4 goes to Take Me Out. Number 3 goes to $1 Million Money Drop. Number 2 goes to both Don't Forget the Lyrics and Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader? They're tied at number 2. And you may be asking me, what's the number 1 show I really miss watching on Fox? Well, it's none other than... Yes, number 1 goes to Greed the series, or Greed. It was a show that originally aired on Fox back in late 1991 to early 2000. Now, the show started off when it was hosted by Chuck Woolery. There are 6 people who go for the qualifying round, and whoever was the furthest away will not be in the team agreed. There are going to be 5 people in the team. The furthest away the second furthest away will answer the first question worth $25,000, then the next $50,000, then $75,000, then $100,000, and each of them will have one right answer. And the captain will decide if they will accept the answer or reject it with a different answer. Now, if they make it to the $200,000, the questions for that further in will be 4 correct answers, and they'll have to decide if they want to keep the money or go for it. If they go for it, the host will give them a category, and if they do go for it before the question comes up, they activate the Terminator, which involves one person will be selected whether they want to take their one of their partners, half of them share, or leave the team the way it is. Now the host will offer them $10,000 win or lose. Now, in Super Greed, instead of $500,000, the 6th question, it will be jumped to Millionaire. I think the format should have been $50,000 to $200,000, then $400,000. I think the Tower of Greed should have been doubled in Super Greed instead of the $25,000 to $100,000. That's the way it should have. I think the way I thought of should have been the way it should have been. But overall, I have no complaints. Now, if they do get to the $200,000, the host will give them a freebie card, which will eliminate one of the wrong answers if they can save it up to a later question, because each question will have one more wrong answer. The first will be 6 possible answers, and 4 of them will be right. The 7th question will be the $500,000 question will have 7 answers. 3 will be wrong, 4 will be right, and so on and so forth. And there was a guy who went for the $2 million question, but he lost. His name was Dan Avevis. I'll put his name on screen, and yeah. And Curtis Warren actually won the $1 Million Moment, and he won a total of $1,410,000. But a guy, David Legler, beat his score on 21 with $1,765,000. And 21 was on number 2 on my shows I miss watching on NBC. But I like Greed more. In fact, I like Greed more than Millionaire any day. I kind of wish this show had more views and was still running to this day. But what do you expect? Millionaire had more views than 21 and Greed, and even Winning Lines. Winning Lines was CBS's answer to Millionaire. So overall, number 1 is Greed, and I really wish Greed was given us another chance of being revived for another series. Thanks for watching. If you have your own list, post it in the comments. I'd like to hear what shows you miss watching on Fox. Anyway, this is CuteMimi25 signing off.